What up, folks? It's your boy Tim again, my handsome liberal. Joe Biden, his only chance for 2024. Well, that's assuming he even runs in 2024. Many people believe he probably won't be either capable of running in 2024, he'll be too old to run in 2024, and there's even people, I've talked to a couple of right-wingers that believe he'll be dead by 2024. Outlandish? Yeah, probably so, but there are people who truly believe that either through, Article 25 or whatever they call it, where he is not capable of being an efficient leader, where we'll have to remove him. You know, there's a lot of people who believe Joe Biden is deep in dementia right now and things like that. So, assuming none of that happens, what is his best chances for being reelected in 2024? We're going to talk about that. Before we do, like I said, I always ask you to do, at the end of the video, if you like what I had to say, feel free to hit the like button. Better yet, hit that shit right now, because you're going to like what I have to say. If not, okay, hit the dislike button. Can't win them all. Smash that subscribe button, click the bell so you know when I'm dropping these gems on you. His only chance in 2024, I know I got a lot of right-wingers that follow the channel, but I'm going to say this, and some of you guys probably will take odds with this. I think the only chance President Biden has for 2024, considering right now, at the first year, Afghanistan looks terrible. I made a video on that. The Haitian crisis at the border, it looks terrible. I made a video on that. The economy is not going the best right now. I've discussed that in videos. Right now, his favorability numbers are very low. They're down there where Trump's was at a point, low 40s, upper 30s, just horrible for presidency. I've mentioned that in videos. So why would we even think that he would be a good or decent candidate to possibly be reelected? What are his best chances to win again? The only thing I think that could really help Biden out in this horrible time right now is for the Republicans to reelect Trump to the top of the Republican ticket. I've made videos about the next Republican president. You put a Ron DeSantis in there, or even a Ted Cruz, God forbid, or, any of these other individuals that do not have the baggage of Trump, and I think Biden would be in for a world of trouble. Now, you compare Trump to President Biden, and I've made several videos and mentioned this several times, Trump wins every time. Economy, the way the military was going, particularly with Afghanistan being so dismal right now, Trump just comes across as looking better. It comes across looking like a more stronger, defiant leader. However, all of the things that, and I don't think Trump did well on COVID at all. I'm going to make that clear. Despite Operation Warp Speed, I think Trump on COVID was horrible. But we can debate that in another video. Take COVID away and Trump looks better after 4 years in office than Biden looks right now in his first year. But despite the accomplishments someone may attribute to Trump, that wasn't the reason he lost. It wasn't the reason we voted him out of office. We voted Trump out of office predominantly because of his divisive attitude, the horrible tweets, and a lot of things that was coming out of his mouth. Now, we can argue back and forth if the election was stolen and all of that. Until I see some sort of legitimate proof that Trump won in a landslide, which is what he's claiming, that's not even going to be discussed on this channel. It's just not even worth it. I need to see proof of that. So we're going with what the official word is, and that is he was voted out of office. And it was mainly because of the divisive rhetoric. So we can bring up, well, Trump was much better on the economy than Joe Biden. I concede that even as the handsome liberal. We can actually bring up that he was better with the way the military was being ran compared to what Milley is dealing with the horrible, chaotic evacuation of Afghanistan and all of that. Once again, as a liberal, I concede that. But that is not why Trump was voted out of office. So if the Republicans send Trump back up to the top of the ticket, the exact same reasons that we voted him out of office are still there. So they're not going to look at Biden and say, you suck, let's go back to Trump. Because when they voted Trump out, they were saying, you suck because of what you're doing. We're going to try the next guy. Well, if the next guy doesn't work, you don't go back to the other guy that still has those same qualities. And right now, former President Trump is holding rallies around the country. And, he's calling Joe Biden the sippy cup president, the nervous Nancy's, the crazy Bernie's, Pocahontas. All of the stuff that they voted him out for, he's still doing all of that. So voting Trump back into office is going to bring back into power all of the things that you hated to begin with. So that's why I addressed that in my video, The Next Republican President, in which I suggested someone like Ron DeSantis might be a decent choice for Republicans to send forward. Because you can get many of the great policies that you may have liked out of Trump without all of that nasty stuff that people voted him out for. So yeah, Joe Biden in 2024, we need, as liberals, we need the Republicans to keep sending Trump. We need you guys to remain under the umbrella of Trump. It helps us out. It's not only helping us out with the presidency, it's helping us out with the Senate races in Georgia, where both of the senators, Trump went down and defended. Trump's candidates are not doing very well. They do very well in Trump country. So if you're running for, let's say Liz Cheney, she's out in Wyoming running for senator. Wyoming is Trump country. So most of the constituents in the state of Wyoming widely support Trump. So if you got a Republican that Trump supports running against a Republican that Trump does not like, in Trump country, the Republican that he supports is going to win. That doesn't apply on the national scale. And even in a state like Georgia, which is typically blood red, both of the candidates that Trump was supporting for Senate in that runoff Senate race in 2020 or at the end of the year, they lost. But he's had candidates lose elsewhere. He had a candidate lose down in Texas. So, and that was once again a Republican up on Republican race. But yeah, Trump's influence works very well in areas where he controls most of the constituents. But if you put him in an area that's diverse or something like that, it doesn't apply as much. And America is obviously very diverse. So we'll see what happens. If we don't get Joe Biden, we may be dealing with Kamala Harris. Her favorability numbers are also right down there in the tank with President Biden. Generally, that's kind of what you'd expect. You wouldn't expect, the country to have big negatives on the president, but love the vice president, because the vice president is typically someone who stays in the shadows. They don't really get the same publicity and notoriety. Obviously, under a well-spoken person like Obama or a very bombastic person like Trump, Biden was, very quiet under Obama, and Mike Pence was completely overshadowed by President Trump. Some would say that Dick Cheney was a little bit more outspoken under President George Bush, with Halliburton and the war and all of that kind of stuff going on. We never heard from Al Gore under Clinton. I mean, I could go back and back. I mean, for the most part, you don't hear from vice presidents that often when the president is in charge. So, in fact, we hear more from the first lady. You look at some of the first ladies throughout history, and they got more attention than the vice president. So, if the vice president sucks, or better yet, if the president, the commander-in-chief, sucks, or people don't like them, which is what's going on with President Biden right now, chances are that's going to bleed over into the vice president as well, because it's part of the administration. Other than that, folks, I'm going to say that's all I have for you. But I do believe that President Biden or Kamala Harris, that administration, if they're going to get a second go of it in 2024, I'm just saying, let's say Joe Biden decides not to run, or he can't run, or whatever the case may be, and Kamala Harris steps up, she definitely has a better chance of winning if they send President Trump to the top of the ticket. And he brings out he brings out the vote. Let's just put it that way. He brings out the vote. He brings out people to vote against him that normally might not vote at all. And I strongly believe that his supporter base has dropped since he has not been in the public eye. It really helped when stations like CNN and MSNBC back in 2016 was putting him on the air and all his rallies on the air because he was a ratings bonanza. Now he's off of Twitter. Nobody's showing his fucking rallies with the exception of, maybe Newsmax or OAN, these, networks that are with far less viewership. So he's not getting anywhere near the coverage that he used to get. And that's going to hurt any political candidate. I mean, that's what they pay for. They pay a fortune to get television ads on TV. They pay a fortune to get radio ads, and they pay a fortune to get things on the internet. So when you click on Facebook, their name pops up. Social media has silenced that guy. He's not on social media. He's not on Facebook. He's not on YouTube. He's banned for life from Twitter. So, or Instagram. I mean, they just banned him all over the damn place. So that doesn't help him out at all, because if you can talk, you can win voters. And when you can't talk, it's just up to the people who already like you to show up back up to the polls. And that's not enough, as 2020 has proved. So what do you think, folks? Do you think I'm in the right direction on this? If you think so, give me that like. If you think not, hit the dislike button and drop a fucking comment. I want to know why you think what I'm saying right now. And that is that the best chance for Democrats in 2024, if Biden's term continues looking as dismal as it is right now. Why do you believe that Trump could potentially be reelected over Biden? Tell me why. You think, with the tweets and with the same attitude and rhetoric he's doing right now, do you believe the American people would vote that back into office? And I know when we say Trump, we think of him being hated by liberals and loved by Republicans, but keep in mind the Liz Cheneys, the Bush families, the Romneys, the McCain families. These are prominent families in the Republican Party, and they have supporters and followers, and they don't like him either. And, we're suggesting that if he led the ticket in 2024, we'd be willing to put him in there with that rhetoric, because he's so far ran the country better than President Biden. Do you believe that we would do that? Let me know in the comments. I just wanted to drop a quick video on you guys, because this is something I had on my mind. It's been asked to me by a few people I've been debating with, and I wanted to talk about it. So, as usual, it's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Catch you later.